folks and folkettes. Yes, it's me again. I'm not dead. What do you know? If I could get a nickel for every time I opened a video with some sort of an apology saying that I've been gone for, you know, an unearthly amount of time, I would probably be really rich right now. But yes, that's indeed all in the past, because today I'm going to be doing something that I realize I probably need to get done pretty quick, and that is finishing, or at least starting to kind of wrap up Godzillathon, because I started it about a year ago, and it's been off and on, pretty successful going on since then, but I've just kind of let it. So I need to go ahead and go on with the next installment. And this one is a very easy one to review, because I'm sure just about everybody under the sun, Godzilla fan or no, has probably seen this movie, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. First of all, let's look at it from a nerdy sort of perspective, nerdy sort of fanboy perspective, where we kind of talk about how it fits in with the rest of the Godzilla mythos. So as you may remember from Godzilla vs. Biollante, he fought Godzilla fought Biollante, and of course the big plant went away. Godzilla then went into the ocean to heal his wounds, waiting to be awakened once again. But the Earth people are starting to get a little intelligent and starting to think that, maybe this isn't such a great idea, that this giant monster is just kind of living in the ocean. And while they have that in the back of their mind, aliens come. Yeah, real aliens. And they're so surprised, it's like, oh my gosh, aliens do exist. It's not like we've seen that a billion times before. Of course, in all fairness, I don't suppose that these people actually have seen them before, so, you know, there you go. But anyways, that said and done, they see these aliens, and they're actually, I like this kind of, it turns out they're not aliens, as they soon find out. They're actually people from the future. They just like to kind of, you know, play aliens with, you know, people from the past, which I gotta admit does sound like a little bit of fun. But future people, two of which are actually Caucasian males, they aren't Japanese, which I thought was interesting, actually come back in time to warn the people of Earth that Godzilla is going to destroy Japan in the future. And since they are so really nice and just really miss Japan in the future, because, you know, I guess they're the ones that make all the cell phones and, you know, TV dinners, they decide to come back into the past and tell them that Godzilla was going to destroy them, so that they could destroy Godzilla then, so that Godzilla won't be in the future. Simple, right? But anyone that's seen the movie Looper will know that you don't go screwing around with the past. But all that is set aside because of course the Earth people want to get rid of Godzilla, but the future people have a great way of doing it. They go backer in time. And yes, they go back to World War II, and this is where we get the official background story of Godzilla. See, apparently he was a giant dinosaur. I say giant, he was already giant. I mean, I don't know of a dinosaur that is literally this huge. I mean, it was already a monster. But anyways, it was on one of the islands in World War II where the American soldiers were sieging the Japanese guerrilla troops, and it came out and sort of protected them, or at least that's how they saw it, and was wounded. Well, it turns out a few years later, the H-bomb was tested on that same exact island, supposedly turning the dinosaur into Godzilla. So the only way then, the only thing to do then is to take the dinosaur out of the past and, like, delete it and put it into the future somewhere, and it dies under the ocean. And that's exactly what they do. Not to mention doing kind of a cool sort of retro 90s computer sort of way, where you have the little pixels disappear, and then the real dinosaur disappears, you know, pixel by pixel. Just explain to me how that works, but anyways. So yeah, they are actually successful in deleting Godzilla from ever. But one of the future people releases these little genetically engineered pets, pretty much the future version of a chihuahua, releases 3 of them into the past on the island, only to become King Ghidorah. So when present people get back to the present, they see that King Ghidorah is now wreaking havoc on the Earth, which is being controlled by future people. And the future people turn out to just be a bunch of jerks who stole this time machine from the World Federation or whatever to go back in time and stop Japan from becoming strong, because apparently in the future Japan is like the major world power. Ha! Yes, they do that, so that's kind of a mess. So really the only thing that they can do is you know, pretty much kneel at their feet because the future people are in control of a giant three-headed dragon. But present people decide to come up with a brilliant idea. If the H-bomb's the thing that turned the dinosaur into Godzilla in the first place, why not do it again with the one already in the ocean? And that's exactly what they do. They blow that thing to Kingdom Come, and apparently it radiates this little dinosaur in the ocean, and it becomes a new Godzilla. So apparently we're done with the old Godzilla. He's done. Who cares? Just like 20+ movies, just out of the way. Gone, done, who cares? We got a new Godzilla, that's all that matters. Yeah, it's a little disappointing, but yes, it is a different Godzilla now. We have a different Godzilla. Different. At least that's how I understand it. Ugh. Anyways, that Godzilla destroys King Ghidorah, and, well, now they have another problem, because Godzilla is not the nice, plushy, happy-go-lucky Godzilla he was. He's new, mean, and big-thighed Godzilla. And he's also in trouble because he apparently hates people still, for some reason. And they need to now go into the future and get the Ghidorah that was destroyed from the fight with Godzilla and turn it into a cyborg to bring it back into the present to fight Godzilla. So wait. So future people told present people to go back to the past to kill Godzilla, or else Godzilla would kill them. Okay. When the present people come back to the present, they see that King Ghidorah is already destroying them. So the present people create a Godzilla in the present to destroy King Ghidorah. Well, Godzilla's going to destroy them too. So one of the future people go into the future and come back to the present with another monster that was created from King Ghidorah that was destroyed by Godzilla, to destroy Godzilla, and it was made to destroy Godzilla so that Godzilla won't destroy them. This is freaking distraught. Distraught. That is the word. This is a distraught plot. Anyways, though, despite all of its twists and turns, the basic end point is Godzilla plummets into the ocean along with Mecha King Ghidorah or something like that. Yeah, that's actually exactly what they call him. And the little driver from the little girl, the little Japanese lady from the future, goes back to the future. And all is one, all is happy and everything. Oh, and by the way, the two Caucasian males that happen to be the bad guys, because they're not Japanese, I guess, is why they're bad. They got killed. Yes. But yes, this is definitely a overconvoluted plot that has a lot of twists and turns and probably was just a bit too complicated for its own good. That being said, it's not a bad movie. It's got lots of nice retro 1991 cool special effects and stuff. And I'm not talking about just guys in suits, I'm talking about, good sparks and stuff. Lots of cool makeup, especially with the one android M11, who's probably my favorite character in the whole movie, even though he's not even human. He's still pretty cool. But, and then I like the whole thing about where they go back into the past to see Godzilla's origin story. I mean, origin stories are always cool, especially with characters that we all know and love. That doesn't always mean origin stories are good movies, just ask Wolverine. But still, this was a fair good movie, and it definitely added a lot of good sort of background to Godzilla that was desperately needed. Not even the original Godzilla movie actually delved into where he came from, they just said he was a product of the atomic bomb. And that's exactly how this fits in with that. But all that said, it's still kind of a confusing plot and may get other people confused, but seeing as how this is probably one of the most watched Godzilla movies ever, I doubt it's too bad for most people to kind of just hang on to. So I definitely recommend you watch it if you haven't. If you even have watched it, it's definitely worth a rewatch, I say. It's fairly fun and it's a good time, I'd say. It's not that long either.